What is up, everybody? So, for starters, I promise these videos will get better. I'm kind of getting used to this whole talking into a cell phone thing. I wanted to start off by introducing myself, talking about what these videos are for, and some opportunities for everybody to gain access to some pretty cool additional free content. So, without further ado, I'll just jump right into the intro. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's probably going to be long because I do have I do unintentionally elaborate on everything. So I think that's fancy for long-winded. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. So a little bit about me. I do have a doctorate in business and a master's in business, which is great. But that's not where I started. I didn't start off with a formal education. I wasn't like a debutante or anything. Nothing against debutantes. I just never had that option. I'm from the South Bronx. I come from very humble beginnings. I've had great support from my family, but growing up, we weren't really in a position to just, oh, you need to start a business, here's $1 million, right? That wasn't us. I joined the military. I was in the military for almost 10 years. I have pursued kind of two career paths, words. I've pursued two different career paths, one in security and one in health and wellness. And as of about 8 years ago, I started to pursue business advising. It kind of happened organically, but here we are years later, and I have had the opportunity to help over 25 businesses reach 6 and 7 figures, to include some of my own. And then I guess I should say that I have a lot of very different businesses and knowledge of markets that are completely different, right? I've helped industries in the leather making industry, fitness industry, fashion industry. I've kind of been in a bunch of different markets, baby products, food products. So I do have a very diverse background when it comes to business. So before I get into it, I wanted to just say real quick that my intention for these videos is not to provide legal advice. It's not to provide official business advice or anything of that nature. It's simply me just sharing what my experience is, what my experience is, and like what I have found to be the best method for success. And you can take it or leave it, right? This is maybe I say some things you're not familiar with and it gives you a new Google search, right? So please keep that in mind, right? This isn't like the perfect plan. This isn't the perfect blueprint. It just happens to be something that's worked for a variety of different industries. And I want to bring that to you as just another resource, not your only resource. So kind of getting into it, this video series is meant to explain my blueprint. And a little bit about my blueprint. It is a kind of like a step-by-step guide for how to start your own business. And it has intentional blanks. There are intentional gaps in this blueprint. And I'm sure you're like, that's not a blueprint then, right? You can't build a house with no walls or a missing wall. And you're right. But these gaps are intentional because there are things that you bring to the table, your points of differentiation, which we'll talk about later. And the market, right? This blueprint might be good for an apparel line, but doesn't mean it's going to be good for a granola bar company, right? So the blueprint has a lot of the same features, but what makes one blueprint different from the other is you and your idea and the product you're trying to start. And this video is not going to leave you hanging, right? I'm going to go over how to fill those gaps. I'm going to go over how to fill in the blanks, how to put this blueprint together. And, the more time you spend developing your business plan, the better. But there is a way to fast track this if, maybe even thinking about it for a year. This video really helps you. You're trying to start next month. You will have the ability to do that with all of the information that I'm going to give you. Well, you'll be in a better position to do that, let's say. Now, the last thing I wanted to say is the information I'm putting on this website is great. It's going to have all of the pieces of the blueprint. What I will say though, and some things that I keep close to the vest in regards to my blueprint are what I consider to be the bread and butter, right? The things I'm going to give you are great. It's a great place to start. But the things that I put my blood, sweat, and tears into, and the techniques that I've used, I 100% guard those. But I'm going to make those available too, for free, obviously. This whole thing is meant to be for free. And the way I'm going to give that to you is through the email subscriber list. So if you want access to even more content, you know, I'm going to have some of my business partners and some people that I know that are very successful give me some feedback and add some things to these email lists, whether it's free product, resources that they use, whatever it is. Those are going to be available through the email subscription list. So if you're serious, sign up for the email list, because I think that you'll get even more information and increase the probability of your success with those additional resources. The last piece, and I promise this is the end, is if you have a topic that you want me to go over, leave it in the comments. I'll reply to you in the comments, but also if I notice that there's a trend, a certain topic that everyone wants me to talk about that isn't in my blueprint, I'll add that. You know, I do have a set guideline for the blueprint, which I'll publish, and the topics that I'm going to go over. But if there's something that's not on there, or you just have a genuine concern, like, hey, can you talk a little bit about like the apparel industry? I'll go industry specific too in some videos. I'll make them bonus videos. So leave a comment, talk to me, right? Tell me what you guys want me to go over. And if it's something that I'm not familiar with or I don't know, I will find out. I'll let you know I don't know, but I'll show you everything that I found based on my resources, and maybe it requires me to pick up the phone and call somebody I know in that industry. So again, leave a comment if you want to make sure that I cover a topic.